In today's episode of Road to Grandmaster, I was really excited to get to play alongside an Abathur Butcher composition. Unfortunately, our Li Ming player doesn't seem all that excited to play Heroes of the Storm at all. Hey guys, Nubkeks here and welcome to Road to Grandmaster for 2017 Season 1. We're going to go through the draft. If you want to skip the draft and go straight to the gameplay, you can find the timestamps down in the description below. Also, when you're down there, make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy these videos. And yeah, if you're new here, subscribe, because I do, well, lots of these quite often, quite frequently. You know, multiple times a day, usually, in fact. But anyway, yeah, we're on Cursed Hollow here. I'm actually the team captain. Blade would be quite a bit better than me, obviously on our team, but he would be, I think he's still in his placement games, I think. Anyway, I ban out Tassadar, of course, nothing new there in this patch. The enemy team bans out Dahaka, wanting to remove that global presence on Cursed Hollow, the split push. I think it's a decent ban. I don't know, personally, I would rather ban a Falstad over Dahaka on this map for Hero League. I just, like, Falstad brings boss control with Mighty Gust, which I think is pretty useful. But I mean, Dahaka is a great hero. Now we grab Abathur as the first pick, and that's the first kind of crazy step in the game. I know that Krug LK here is a support main, Blade is a melee assassin main, so I'm perfectly happy to grab a warrior for us at this point. Muradin is one of the best warriors to combo with Abathur, and he's also one of my favorite heroes, so it's win-win for us really. I think picking a warrior early in the draft makes sense. I mean, they even pick Greymane, so fantastic. Muradin works really well against Greymane, so really happy from this aspect as well. Why does Muradin combo so well with Abathur? What's the deal with that? Well, basically with Muradin, right, in our talents, we'll go through the talents as we go through the game as well, of course. You can spec into, it's really actually surprisingly hard-hitting damage dealing talents and abilities. So for example, a Skullcracker at level 7, improving your attack speed, and then making your attacks stun every 3 attacks, and then give them the axe at level 16, so doing 60% bonus basic attack damage against heroes that are CC'd in any sort of form. And then on top of, like, his just incredible tankiness, right? He just becomes super effective at just being in on top of the enemy team. He becomes a great target for the Abathur symbiote, actually, because you are doing tons of basic attack damage. You're in the middle of the enemy team, so you're delivering all of that Abathur damage right into the middle of them. It's just a fantastic combo. And once we hit level 20, of course, and once the Abathur clone of a hero is used up in the team fight, well then we're going to be in there with the Butcher and Abathur with the Hive Mind talent that he can get at level 20, putting, you know, 2 symbiotes up at a time effectively. That's going to be just insanely strong on both myself and the Butcher. It's going to be really, really scary for the enemy team to have to fight into that. So we grabbed the Butcher as well, which is an interesting choice. Obviously, as you can see, Blade, Master Butcher, I've seen him played in multiple games. It's actually one of his favorite picks, I think. There's a few other players I've seen that. I think we saw Wubby playing Butcher as well. Wubby obviously being the melee assassin player for Fnatic. So, I mean, you got a lot of these really good players in Europe actually do play the Butcher from time to time in Hero League. They don't really play it much in Pro Play at all, but in Hero League, they certainly do. Definitely an underrated pick. I know he's getting some attention at the moment because his win rate is so high, so I think that's kind of crazy. Anyway, the enemy team opted to ban out Malf. I think that's a bad choice because we get Rehgar, and I think Rehgar works better, much better with our comp. Rehgar brings that sort of aggression, brings lockdown, brings more damage, and will synergize a bit better with the Abathur. I feel like the great Malf will be kind of isolated, I feel, whereas Rehgar's got mobility. He can, like, kind of solo people a little bit better as well. I think the Rehgar just fits better. His wave clear and merc taking are better too, so I think the Rehgar fits us much, much better. I really like that pickup for us. I banned out Arthas. Basically, I figured, you know, hey, if we're running a Butcher into Arthas, Arthas seems like a real good counter to the Butcher. That attack speed slow, that move speed slow, the Butcher can't get out of that. So that's got a hard counter him, I think. But there you go, guys. I'll meet you in the game and talk about how the team comps overall match up with each other. See you in a second. Alrighty, and here we are in the game, guys. If you skipped the draft, you want a quick recap, we are running a Butcher Abathur composition. I'm rocking out the Muradin here. I think Muradin will be a nice tanky frontline that can dive in with the Butcher, back him up, and just be super survivable. Don't really have to worry about keeping me alive. We got Rhaegar. He's going to provide a lot of damage, mobility himself, and quite a sustainable sort of solo healer in his own right. And then we got Li Ming. I think the Li Ming pick is pretty nice too. I actually like the Li Ming pick an awful lot. Li Ming should be very safe. She's very mobile. She's got great range poke and everything like that. I think she should be just fine. I think that's one of the things when you're building an Abathur composition, because you are lacking one body, it can be somewhat difficult for heroes to stay alive. Like, you're somewhat vulnerable to dive, and the enemy team really does have an awful lot of dive with the Greymane, the Illidan, and the Falstad. So we definitely have to be somewhat wary of that. I think the Li Ming fits well. She shouldn't be in too much trouble in terms of trying to live and survive and everything like that. Anyway, we're going to have the Butcher be soloing lanes. He's going to be trying to stack up his meat quest as quickly as possible. The rest of us are just going to be trying to survive here. I've got a quest myself. Again, I'm Muradin, so I can take a ton of damage. I don't have to worry too much. My trait will heal me back up. So we're actually fairly happy to trade like this, right? It'll take Lucio time to heal people up, whereas you can see my trait has popped, and you can see how quickly my HP power regenerates. That's just Muradin things, I'm going to hop down here. Obviously, Abathur's body will soak all the experience of that first wave, but I want to be here to get this second wave. I'm going to try push this wave as well of minions into the enemy towers, just draw them away, maybe even potentially make them miss some XP if they're not there. Though I think Greymane should be there. I don't know. I was kind of... Yeah, they're backing off. Okay, they went to gank top. Okay, that's what they're up to. But yeah, the enemy team comp is actually pretty good as well, right? They got Johanna. Johanna's got blinds and, you know, block and physical armor, so she's going to actually be really good at stopping the Butcher and just being a big pain in his ass. That's some pretty good damage on Lucio there. He's almost dead. We could maybe Dwarf Toss in after him. Maybe. Yeah, we might have been able to get a kill. I'm not super sure. But yeah, then they've got some serious dive, and they also got some serious merc and boss taking capabilities with the Illidan and the Greymane. I think their comp is really good, actually. I think the Illidan last pick was very smart. What does that open up? Illidan opens up a couple of options for them in particular. Number one, he can basically like dive our heroes super easily. He's very safe from the Butcher because of his evasion ability, and obviously level 13 he can get whatchamacallit. I forget what the taunt's called. It's like evasive strikes or something. But like if he hits heroes with his W with again I can't think of the name. I'm an idiot. But if he hits heroes with that, right, he can reduce the cooldown of evasion, so he can have evasion up all the time. He won't take any damage from the Butcher. He's gonna be crazy. He's really good against the Butcher. More than that, though, he'll also open up the option to push lanes really aggressively, right? So let's say Abathur can, you know, hold off a lane a little while against some heroes. Well, Illidan can just literally run up and just like start beating down the towers. It's a real problem, actually. Like, he's really good at split pushing lanes. Really, really hard. He's actually gonna die here. Rip. They overstep, so we get a kill 2v4. Nice. Siege Giants helping us out. Good boys. Good Siege Giants. We actually hit our stun against Johanna, not against Greymane. We'll take it, though. That's a stack for us. But yeah, I think the Illidan worked really well. He's also going to be able to just go solo merc camps while his teammates are still... Oh, that stun was complete miss. Whoops. While his teammates are still soaking lanes and everything like that. Yeah, he's just going to be able to be super aggressive. I feel like it's a really good pick. I feel like that works so well. It works so well against everything we're doing. Illidan can chase Li Ming fairly well, unless she like teleports over a wall. He's really good against the Butcher. He's really good against Abathur. I feel like they got everything going for them with the Illidan pick. I think that really brought their draft together. And then, of course, the Falstad pick was also excellent. I would have liked to ban Falstad out, but we had to ban out Arthas to remove that counter to the Butcher. Ouch. As our healing gets interrupted by Greymane. How rude, how rude. Yeah, the Falstad pick has got Mighty Gust to disengage. If we ever try to engage with the clone, he can save people from the Butcher, hopefully, probably, for them. So I think it's pretty good. Anyway, we should get this. Oh no, I'm going to get blinded and interrupted by Johanna. But yeah, we want to fight over this tribute. This one is like the easiest one for us to take. I mean, they're even pushing bottom. There we go. That's the Illidan thing I was talking about. So I'm going to come in here and engage really, really hard. Butcher charges in. And I think he reached max charge range or something went wrong there. But the charge didn't actually stun the Lucio and he does escape. But yeah, right there, why did I pick a fight so aggressively over that tribute? Well, we saw 2 heroes down bottom. Obviously, they knew that they were gonna... It's such a difficult tribute for them to take as well. It's so far positioned to our side of the map that it just like frees us up to... Yeah, basically they said, look, we're not gonna get it. We're gonna push bottom. I obviously saw that and then go, okay, cool. Well, if they're pushing bottom, they're trying to delay us, but they are outmanned, overwhelmed, and yeah, outgunned effectively by us in this lane. So on this tribute fight, so gonna jump in and push that as hard as I can. I need to stay here and clear this out. They obviously got a big push, and you can see the pressure they're creating around the map. They got some good pressure here in the mid lane. That bot lane is almost dead. I actually thought it was gonna die. And there wasn't too much we could do about it, unfortunately, but Li Ming did make it down and did manage to defend, so that's pretty good. And yeah, so far so good. We're gonna try delay over this one. You can see Butcher's on the way, but realistically I don't see us actually being able to get it. Well, I'm gonna be able to stun the Falstad, so that's good. Rehgar goes, I'm not sure what happened there, but Rehgar goes in and instantly dies. I'm trying to keep Butcher alive. I figure I'm gonna be safe because I can jump over this wall, but look at this, Illidan body blocks. I think unintentionally not able to dwarf toss over, and we actually go down. The plan there was to, you know, help out the Butcher, then go into that little nook, that little cranny right there, hop over the wall, and then they wouldn't be able to follow. Everything would be fine. Li Ming is AFK in lane, that's wonderful. But yeah, I thought that I'd be able to get out, but the Illidan, I think somewhat unintentionally actually, did body block me there. Yeah, caught me out of there. I wasn't able to dwarf toss over, and yeah. Anyway, the enemy team is almost definitely doing their boss. They could be doing our boss as well. I think it's more likely they're doing theirs. Yeah, okay, they did their one. So yeah, but I mean, the good news is that we're actually still really close in terms of XP with an Abathur comp, so that's actually fairly decent. We've held on pretty well. I mean, we even got one of the tributes, so that's good. I think that was a real goal, was to stay even on XP and like get at least one of the first 3 tributes. We would have liked it to go better, but I think we're fairly satisfied with this outcome. Butcher just wipes out Lucio. He's actually gone for Furnace Blast, which is really interesting. Okay, we don't... Oh, actually pop a Rehgar clone right there. Interesting. Not sure why that happened. Okay, well, we got a Rehgar clone out. I feel like that was a mistake. Yeah, I think he thought I was going to engage really hard. I was just trying to stack my quest against Johanna. And then my talents, to mention those. Obviously, the thing I'm trying to stack is Perfect Storm at level 1, reducing our Stormbolt, our Q's mana cost, by 25%. And then every time we hit it, we increase the damage as well. This so close to killing the Illidan. I'm going to Dwarf Toss back and try to grab this tribute. Okay, we're not going to get it. I was hoping that maybe the Rehgar could slow them down enough. Not going to be the case. Looks like Rehgar's going to die. Trying to kite them back. He's trying to kite them back toward through my slowing field that I've set up. That's the Reverberation. My talent, or Thunderburn. Sorry, it's got a new name. Thunderburn. Oh man, it was always called Thunderburn. Reverberation would make more sense though, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Anyway, we slightly stalled him out, which is cool. But Li Ming promptly gets annihilated. Yeah, so level 4 Talent Thunderburn. Thunderclap leaves a zone on the ground. It will do a slow and a bit of damage whenever it hits heroes. This is like a pretty standard Muradin build. This is basically the aggressive one. I run this one most times in Hero League actually. But against this team comp in particular, this is what we're going to be running. Skullcracker at level 7. Increasing our attack speed by 25%. Synergizes nicely like with Abathur actually, especially later on in the game. Yeah, every 3rd basic attack against a hero will stun them for 0.25 seconds. It's a tiny little stun. It can interrupt channels and stuff like that, you know, like Sonya Whirlwind, which is kind of useful. There's not too much to interrupt on the enemy team. I mean, maybe we interrupt Sound Barrier. It's unlikely, but, you know, maybe. Yeah, mostly it's going to synergize to level 16 talent. Avatar at level 10, so we can obviously pop that and get way more health, which is fantastic. You pretty much always want this, so much tankier. It's great. In the meantime, by the way, we are kind of being super duper pushed in because all that fight went so badly over that tribute up top. We lost so many heroes. They got a boss, they got the curse, and they're pushing us in. Luckily, the XP is still not too bad. So there's that. That's kind of keeping this in somewhat. So it's not over yet. It's obviously been a rough start to the game, but we're expecting it to be a rough start with Butcher Abathur. I think so far we've actually held on well enough. We've got all of our keeps. I think things are looking okay for the moment. Now, the enemy team is well up in terms of map pressure. Luckily, their boss hasn't respawned yet, so they couldn't actually swing down and take that. They can only take their bruiser camp, so that really helps. I think if they got another boss, like if their boss was being available there and they got it, then we would have been in a rough spot. But so far, we're doing okay. Level 13, healing static. Whenever our Thunderclap hits a hero, we heal for 5% for max health. Obviously, we get way more max health Abathur, so that's a nice synergy. The Thunder Burn times at level 4, the second strike, that zone and the second strike of Thunderclap, that also triggers healing static in the full effect. So we can potentially heal ourselves for absolutely loads. It can be really, really strong. So that's quite nice. And then coming up to level 16, because I'll probably forget to mention it at the time, I'm going to give him the axe. So whenever we attack a hero that's slowed, rooted, or stunned, pretty much every kind of CC except polymorph, silence, I'm thinking Medivh, except for silence, will give us 60% increased basic attack damage for 3 seconds. So that's like way more basic. It's really good, actually. Also worth noting, Illidan went for the hunt, which is kind of nuts. But there you go. Abathur wants us to fight before level 16 is hit. And the enemy team will have an advantage. We might be... I mean, the Butcher's not here yet, so we can't really fight quite yet. He's playing it fairly cool. We obviously need our whole team there to fight. Well, particularly we need the Butcher here to fight. Yeah, we basically need everyone to pick a fight. We can maybe do it without Rhaegar, but we basically need all the damage dealers there to actually get a kill. Illidan up top. That's cool. I'm going to try zone these guys out, just keep vision on them. This is kind of scary. I will zone them out and hop over this wall. So that way we just slow them down a little bit, get vision for our team and help them out. We have a Butcher clone going in and it's going super deep. Butcher himself is going in as well. He's popped everything. We popped Abathur, tried to Dwarf Toss in, but a Mighty Gust does disengage. With that Mighty Gust disengage, I noticed that Illidan actually jumped into our backline, so go in and help our teammates finish him off. Because he went for the hunt, I don't know why he went for the hunt. It makes so little sense. But that actually makes him somewhat vulnerable to being killed, so that's really good for us. I'm going to be able to Dwarf Toss over this wall. We actually get hit by Ancestral, which was a good gust by the enemy team. I think we got a little bit too eager to dive in after them. We're going to be able to stall this out slightly. Li Ming actually almost kills Falstad. Going to go in for Falstad. Unfortunately, he had his gusty thing available. We got heals and stuff, so that's okay. We're surviving for a little while more, but we are going to get picked off ultimately in the end right there. I think Rhaegar might... Yeah, Rhaegar's going to die as well. Li Ming has run away. Anyway, Abathur is calling for a retreat. I was saying, I can't. Li Ming ran out of mana. Yeah, and you can see Li Ming went for orb build. You probably noticed as well at some stages. Yeah, this Li Ming player was... I don't know. Like, it's one of those things. I didn't know if this guy was, like, griefing. If he's just, like, not that good. Or... I honestly suspect that he's like just watching TV or something when he's playing. You probably noticed at some stages, like there's a few times like in the laning sections where he's literally like on full mana and he's just like staying AFK. He's not like doing anything. Like he's actually doing some stuff here, so that's great. But like there were times where he's literally just full mana, just sitting on a mount like AFK, not doing anything. And he went for orb build. Orb build on Li Ming is just terrible. It's just objectively the worst build. It really sucks. He also has glass cannon. Which reduces his max health against, you know, Illidan Greymane, which is... and Falstad. So, I mean, they can... You know, when would you ever take Warp Build? I don't know. Like, maybe against... Maybe against, like, a triple warrior comp, where they've got no way to dive you and you can keep throwing them out. The thing about Warp Build looks really fancy and flashy, like in the times it does work, but it barely ever works. So, it just never ends up being any good. But yeah, it's like the thing about orb builds is that like when you do get like a couple of orb hits, like there you got a couple of orb hits on the Greymane, it looks really good because it's like this big chunk of burst damage. It feels really satisfying, but it's like it just adds up as being actually so much worse than all the other builds. It actually sucks. That's the problem. All right, they're going for our boss, probably. We at least need to scout it out because it's a big potential here. But yeah, yes, he's got glass cannon, which makes him super vulnerable against like Illidan with the hunt and Greymane. It's like they can just kill him if they want to, and they should. Like that should be their goal. It's like false side gust and just kill Li Ming because she's super squishy. You can see how small her health bar is. Like she's so easy for them to kill. Like you can't pick glass cannon legitimately against heroes that can guarantee damage on you. It's like you can go with glass cannon maybe if it's like you are going to be super safe, right? So the max health being missing isn't a problem. But like, yeah, I mean, against Illidan, Greymane, it's just you can't because they can hurt you. Falstad as well, they can get damage on you, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's like, sure, I can try to peel his Muradin, but there's only so much you can peel. It's like against these heroes, there's no way to stop them diving Li Ming if they really want to dive Li Ming. We can only punish them for it afterwards, but we can't actually stop the dive from happening. And she's super vulnerable to that. As well, she gave up Illusionist instead of Glass Cannon, so she can't like teleport over the walls properly. Which would actually like work really well against the Illidan. Like being able to just juke him around the walls, that would work pretty well. So right here we're waiting. I can interrupt this, so this isn't a problem. There we go, we stop him. I'm gonna have to jump in to stop him this time. Okay, so there we go. I think Li Ming might have just about timed the missiles right there. But yeah, we jump in, we take a chunk of damage. That's from the Greymane heroic right there. We can see that we're doing tons of damage ourselves. Getting some nice healing as well from our healing static procs. Locking people down with the stuns. You can see our basic attacks are doing chunks of damage as well. We got the Abathur symbiote on us too, allowing us to do more damage as well. Butcher dives into the left, picks up a kill on the Johanna, so that's pretty nice. I'm going to dwarf toss over this wall. Luso is actually just like AFK here. I'm not sure what he was doing, but we get him with a stun anyway. Rhaegar's there. A Butcher arrives too. Li Ming kills Illidan at the same time. I don't know what that Lucio was doing. Lucio was also AFK against the wall. Like, there's no way he should have been hit by that stun. He was just not paying attention. And we'll take it, right? We'll take it. Anyway, we're going to be able to get a boss off of this, which is fantastic. In hindsight, like, I probably should have gone and taken the tribute and let Rhaegar do the boss. But, oh well. Alright, we get ourselves a boss. This is really, really good. This is a bit of a comeback to the game. The XP is still even. We're down structures, but we're like starting to come back. We're even on tributes as well. A level 20 should be a nice power spike for us with the Abathur pick. So yeah, we're feeling fairly good about this, I guess. I don't know. I actually, no. I would say we're not feeling fairly good. I think it's like dead even. I'm going to say the game's actually dead even at this point, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. I think we're slightly in advantage. This Butcher's finished his quest. And then we got like Abathur with Hivemind, so I think we're slightly ahead in those terms. But yeah, Johanna does duke that out, which is nice for her. Gonna push this down a little bit, and we should be able to put up a pretty good fight for this tribute, which will be really nice for us. Let's actually just drop the beat. We just dropped the beat for nothing. So the happy days. The beat has been dropped, and there will be no beat dropped again. I'm not sure if he took the cooldown or not, but there's not going to be a beat for a little while anyway. We're going to take a shortcut here, try get down and stop this Falstad, sneaky son of a gun, going for that tribute. We need to stop him. We also have speed from Abathur, that's why I was kind of giggling. They're going to interrupt this, but I mean, we can just like hopefully get them out of position a little bit. That's cool, so we take a little bit of damage, but as you can see, it's really nothing important at all. Butcher goes in, that's fine and dandy. We're going to go in aggressive after these guys. Our teammates are dealing with the two people that dive them on the other side. We actually almost killed Greymane there, which is nice. In hindsight there, I think I should have waited like half a second to throw out a Stormbolt before dwarf tossing out. I just wanted to make sure I didn't die. No, you know what? I actually like the fact that I dwarf tossed out. Sure, we missed a kill on Johanna, but it made sure that I didn't die, and I think that's worth it overall. Falstad, once again, he always has his barrel roll. What a sneaky son of a gun. Anyway, we're going to come do this boss, which is nice. Steal the enemy boss away while they're healing up, and then we'll be able to like push this down and probably end the game off of this. But you might have noticed something has gone wrong. Enemy team has arrived. That's okay. We're gonna put some good damage on the Greymane. Gonna dive in. And the reason I'm diving in, and part of the reason this is going so wrong, is if you look at the minimap, you can probably see the problem here. You can probably see the problem. One of our teammates was not present in this battle. One of our teammates was not present in this battle. So, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh boy, it was pretty rough. But yeah, for some, I don't know what she was doing, but Li Ming just like Hearthstone back. So this is the point where I was like, you know, that's one too many things for me to deal with. I was just like, okay, I honestly feel like this guy is like watching TV or something. He's griefing. I'm like, you can let one or two things slip, but it's like you can let the build slip, like the build is still griefing, but it's like, okay, like, you know what, you can let that go, but it's like, all right, you're standing AFK in lane all the time. You've got like this troll build, and then like, you know, we go for a somewhat risky boss call. Well, not, I say risky in the sense that it's like an aggressive boss call that we can take, but that's presuming that you're there. And it's like, then we win the game. Let's like go take the boss, go win the game. It's like, it's that simple. It's just boom, boom, 1, 2, easy peasy. There's nothing they can do about it. And she Hearthstones instead of coming with it. So yeah, you can see everyone on the team is pretty frustrated at this point with that decision from Li Ming. But yeah, I mean, it was a mistake for me as well. I didn't know, like, I literally didn't notice Li Ming Hearthstone. Like, it makes the decision to Hearthstone made so little sense. Like, I know she was low on mana, right? But still, it's like, you've got enough mana to like just throw out some damage, take the boss, and then like whatever, you can like Hearthstone, you could, if you really need to. But it's like going then at that time, it's just like it's a really bad call, just frankly. It's like, it's so important as well to deny the boss, because that's the win condition for the enemy team. Boss who are bottom lane got no keep. If they take it, they win. They've got Illidan, so we need to like deny it as well. Anyway, yeah, it's just like the decision to Hearthstone made so little sense that I honestly just didn't notice and assumed she was there. That's part of why the fight went so bad as well. Is like I jumped in aggressively into that fight, so I was apologizing to the team too, being like, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I thought that she, like, I was fighting that as if we had like our whole team there, and we didn't. And then it went really wrong, and like gave the enemy team the boss away. Sorry, the boss wasn't a win condition at the time. I made that mistake. They killed the keep with the boss. They took the boss. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't a win condition. But it's still like, it's good to deny it because it is the boss on their side. It's very important to deny it now from now on, because it's the win condition for them now. But yeah. Anyway. Sometimes bad decisions are made. Anyway, the enemy team, they've got pressure here to get a tribute of their own, and then they could do what we could not and get the curse, get the boss, and then just win through the top lane. We are going to be engaging a fight here. Johanna's gone super low. We're doing some pretty good damage. You can see the healing static helping to keep us fairly healthy. We actually missed the Stormbolt onto the Falsa, which is a big mistake. Focus fire on Johanna. She does manage to survive thanks to her level 20. But Falsa gets taken out. Illidan's going to go down as well. The Illidan didn't really play very well, I have to say. And, you know, again, the Hunt was a bit of a troll talent in this game. Lucio goes down. That's a quad kill for us. I was actually going for the tribute and go, wait. We got a quad kill. That's GG. So we actually win the game right there. Off one final big explosive fight. I actually like this as well. Like I was like, no Hearthstone please, as a joke. And the Li Ming starts to Hearthstone as a joke. So I thought that was funny. You can see that like Butcher's having none of it at this stage. He's just like, he's like, I'm sick of this. But yeah, like you know what? Like, I don't know. I really do. I think the dude was like, he's just AFK, like watching TV or something. And then like he wasn't like properly paying attention. But, like, at least he had a sense of humor. So I dig that. But it's like you're still like trolling the team. It's a bit too much. Anyway, there we go. At the end, it worked out. The final fight. The enemy team went a bit too ham, and like I said, like our level 20, our late game fight is really good. And you know, I think their Illidan was terrible, so that really helped us. Helped us a lot. Their Illidan really sucked. Like he did not know what he was doing, and he went for the Hunt instead. So he was trolling pretty hardcore. If they'd had a good Illidan, I think it would have been very different, but they didn't. So that's nice. Hey, matchmaking is balanced. What do you know? And there you go. Alright, so the talents that I went for in this game: Perfect Storm, Thunder Burn, Skullcracker, Abathur, Healing Static, Give him the Axe, and Rewind. Didn't mention Rewind, but it's just really good. You know, extra procs of Thunder Burn and Thunder Clap, Healing Static, more stuns, more CC, more lockdown. It's just fantastic. And yeah, there you go. There should be things on the other side as well. You can subscribe, you can support me on Patreon, and you can find another video that you might enjoy. So click those if you want, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.